Back to SportsCenter. I hope we have your full attention right now because this is a story you'll tell friends about later today. 33-year-old Chad Pfeifer, retired United States Army corporal, has found hope in the sport of golf after having his left leg amputated in 2007. Chad is competing in the Albertsons Boise Open this week, and he joins us now on SportsCenter to tell his incredible tale. Army Corporal Chad Pfeifer, great to have you on SportsCenter. Chad, if you will, take us back to the day you realized that you'd lost a leg.
Yeah, it was April 12, 2007. Our unit was deployed over to Iraq. We were in Iskandariya, about 45 miles south of Baghdad. Our truck got hit with a pressure plate IED. I was typically in the gun hatch, up manning the 50 cal, but we'd been in a firefight. Our guys were tired, and our driver's night vision goggles went out. And so I just volunteered to hop down to the driver's seat, and like I said, it was about a quarter mile down the road. It's when our truck hit the IED, and the blast resulted in the loss of my left leg above the knee. And medevaced out of there, went to Germany, and then went down to Brooke Army Medical Center down in San Antonio, and that's where I spent 15 months doing rehab and therapy, and picked up the game of golf.
Wow. Chad, when you realized that your new reality would include an amputation, how did you see your future?
You know, there was a lot of questions. There's a lot of things that go through your mind once it happens, and as you're going through that recovery process, and you know, a lot of things go through your mind. It's as you look forward, it's tough to see yourself doing some things, but at the same time, you've got to figure out how to do those things and how you can make the most of it. And you know, that's what I just focused on, and was fortunate I had a lot of family and friends that were extremely supportive and helped me do that.
Well, while you were in the process of dealing with your new reality, something happened for you at the Brooke Army Medical Center during your recovery to give you hope. What was that let you believe there was hope for your future?
Yeah, I had someone who's become a good friend, but at the time I didn't know him, and he came through. He was missing both of his legs, and he suggested we get out of the hospital and go do something, and that something was golf. And at first I didn't take to it. I wasn't sure what to think, but he eventually got me out of there, and we went and hit some balls, and I just fell in love with it. So golf became my passion, and I started playing and practicing as much as I could. And you know, like I said, just fell in love with it, and now it became my therapy and my passion. And you know, now I just feel incredibly fortunate that I'm playing golf for a living and playing on you know, one of the second highest professional golf tours out there, and my opportunity this week at the Albertsons Boise Open.
It really is an incredible story. What was the biggest obstacle, Chad, that stood in your way?
I would say just the mental aspect. I mean, as I said before, you go through a lot of questioning on what's your life going to be like, and I mean, there's a lot of days, and I know I'm not the only one that you know, go through severe depression, and you're just not too sure what to think about, you know, what's in your future and what's your life going to turn out to be. So the mental aspect was probably the hardest. The physical, you know, it was tough relearning how to walk with the prosthetic, getting used to it, and then using it to, you know, as I picked up golf, getting used to it with my golf swing. But you know, looking back, and even now, the physical part, it's tough, and it's, you know, can take a toll on your body, but the mental aspect was a lot more challenging than the physical aspect.
Chad, how did you overcome that mental obstacle?
Support from family and friends. I mean, I was very fortunate that my family came down to visit me and had a lot of love and support coming from them, and you know, even coming from other wounded soldiers. You know, we have like the Christian Baggy, who was the one who introduced me to golf. I mean, he would come through and cheer guys up, and you know, me missing one leg, I wasn't gonna tell a guy missing two legs no if he's out doing stuff. So just the support and you know, friendships that you make along the way, and you know, but again, the family and friends, all the support that I had from them that made it a lot easier.
Chad, which golfers do you get inspiration from?
You know, Eric Compton he's been one of the guys that I've really been inspired by. You know, him having 2 transplants and heart transplants and doing what he's doing on the PGA Tour is, you know, that's pretty special, and he's somebody that I can look up to, and you know, obviously he's faced adversity and done really great things overcoming that adversity. So, you know, there's a lot of guys that I can draw inspiration from, but you know, I'm always big fans of guys with the great characters and that get along with kids and just, you know, are class acts. So it's you know, there's a lot of professional golfers that I'm big fans of.
Well, is there one guy in particular that you sort of watch the way he handles himself, and it doesn't have to be a current player, anybody, that you sort of look at and say that's the right way to do it?
Yeah, I mean, you know, I'm pretty impressed with how Jordan Spieth is growing up and becoming, you know, as he gets into the spotlight and becoming just obviously one of a truly great player. But you know, the way I've seen him interacting with kids and what he does for Special Olympics, you know, with his sister having the disability she has, he does a lot of great things for them. So just the way he handles himself, and then his golf game, you know, he's truly fun to watch.
Top of his game, we thought of another guy that's a pretty good role model, does things the right way, Arnold Palmer. And he is actually on the phone with us right now, and he has a couple of words for you. Arnold, welcome to SportsCenter. What do you want to say to Chad?
Well, I want to wish him all the luck in the world and tell him to keep hanging there and keep going the way he is.
There you go. How about some golf tips?
Thank you very much, Mr. Palmer.
Arnold, do you have any golf tips for Chad?
Oh, I could give him all kind of golf tips, but he sounds like he's doing pretty well, and I'm looking forward to seeing him play and watching his action on the golf course.
Chad, anything you'd like to say to Arnold?
It's an absolute honor to speak with you, Mr. Arnold, and you know, thank you so much for all you've done for the game, and thank you for your service. So I know you grew up and spent some time in the service, so thank you very much for what you've done for the country and what you've done for the game of golf.
Well, good. You just keep doing what you're doing, and you'll be all right. I have all the faith in the world in you.
All right. Arnold Palmer with us on SportsCenter.
Thank you very much, sir.
Arnold, thank you very much for joining us. And Chad, thank you on behalf of all of us here at SportsCenter and throughout the United States of America for your service and for your sacrifice. And you've got Arnold had his army of fans. I think you have a whole new army of fans that are pulling for you. Best of luck on the web.com tour. Remember the words of Arnold Palmer. You can do it, and we'll be watching. Chad, thanks for sharing your story.
All right. Thanks so much for having me.
Absolutely. Still to come on Sports.